Did you just watch my Rasmussen video? It's so cool, thanks. There's something else I want to talk about, and this is going to be real quick. For now, I eat meat. We shame vegetarians so much for shaming other people, and I can almost promise you that we shame vegetarians for shaming people more than vegetarians actually shame people. I went to Oberlin College in Ohio, right? I did a year and a half there, or maybe a year there. So that was loaded with cafeteria work, student workers who are vegetarians. I have only ever in my life, despite sort of a lot of my liberal friends and so on, had one experience where I felt in any way shamed by vegetarians. My brother's a vegetarian. That was when there were these chicken nuggets. There were tofu chicken nuggets or something, and then regular chicken nuggets, and and she kind of side eyed me, the cafeteria worker. That was it. She just kind of like that. That's it. Bro, what is everybody freaking out about? Okay, now maybe you can tell me one or two experiences you've had where a vegetarian is just like, you fucking disgust me. I bet you don't, but maybe you do. Okay, so that's two experiences out of sort of all the experiences you've had with vegetarians. What are we doing? Spending so much time making fun of them for shaming, especially given the fact that why wouldn't they shame us? This is actually the same complaint I have when people talk about keeping religion to themselves. Hold on. You're telling me that you're okay with someone believing that you are going to burn in hell for all of eternity because you haven't accepted their faith. And yet, you also expect them to keep that to themselves. What? If I had a close friend, and I have close friends, well, I did, who are very religious, right? Very believing. It is truth for them. Now, I don't know whether they believe I'm going to rot in hell, but they do often make comments to try to get me to see the light. Thank God they care about me. Why would you want friends who honestly believe that you are going to spend eternity in the damned pits of hell? And they're like, but that's okay. What? That's like such a. Anyway, so let's get back to the vegetarianism thing. There are people for whom animal pain is as heavy or as important to them as human pain. And you want them to keep their mouths shut? Not only that, but also the effect on the environment. These are people, these vegetarians are particularly conscientious of the fact, forget religious vegetarians, fuck religious vegetarians. I'm talking about ones that made the decision for a moral or an ethical reason, which is either pain experience or the environment. So they see us eating this meat. They know the effect it has on the environment, plus the miserable lives that those animals were experiencing. And we expect them to just keep their mouths shut? Of course they're going to shame us. Hold on. You know what? I said it best and I posted a Facebook thing. I got like 10 likes on this bitch, so yeah. Viral content. Unpopular opinion. I don't think vegetarians shame people nearly as much as people shame vegetarians for shaming people. It's kind of funny how I act like vegetarians aren't people. I'm not acting like that, but that is one way you can read it if you're stupid. And of course vegetarians are going to shame omnis. A little lingo, omnis for omnivores. And of course vegetarians are going to shame omnis if they are so conscientious of animal experience and pain, as well as the environmental impact. To add to that, vegetarianism is not meant to be a personal lifestyle choice. It is a choice made for the betterment of humans and other life. I don't feel like people choose vegetarianism because they prefer eating plants. In another world, if I saw you beating a child, I wouldn't think, okay, I don't want to be obnoxious, so I'm not going to impose my choices on them. I'll just quietly not beat children. And if people ask whether I beat children and whether I would like to join them in beating children, I will very politely and quietly make up an excuse so as not to be too in their face with my personal lifestyle choice to not whip and kick children. And then the context I put is it's becoming apparent to me that vegetarianism is a moral obligation, And that sucks because I don't think I've ever had 2 consecutive meals without meat. I like to sprinkle chicken nuggets on my cereal. Didn't really get any laughs to that. I am a moral nihilist, so I am going to read the discussion that ensued just to explain what I mean by a moral obligation. So my friend Wes said,
A moral obligation to whom? What happened to moral nihilism? Also, is that an analogy that equates child abuse to eating meat?
I said, 1, a moral requirement to maintain consistency in most people's moral systems. So I'm sure I'll make a video or 20 about this, but although I know that there's no objective truth to morality, what I think morality comes from is what we feel, right? What we like, what we don't like. So if you don't like the idea of animals in pain, then that is one source of your morality. The only thing then that could justify allowing meat eating is if there was some other thing that you like that was greater than that, such as you like humans surviving, and humans wouldn't survive without animal meat. But that's just not the case. There are very few people that would be like, so I do like the idea of animals not feeling pain, but I like more the taste of meat. There are very few humans, I think. I mean, especially, how about those hypocrites that watch a documentary? Like, oh my God, I can't eat meat anymore. And then that feeling fades, so they go back to eating meat. That truth is still there. So in order to be morally consistent, in order to be consistent with your sort of desires, morals, keep the whole system consistent, you probably need to. I don't actually give a shit about animal pain. I don't think. I've never thought that if I watch one of those documentaries, I'll be affected. But I do care about the environment and the future of human species. But maybe I care about animals. Anyway, so yeah, I still don't think there's any objective truth to morality, but since most people don't like the idea of pain or environmental destruction, the corollary might be vegetarianism. And then about my analogy, yes, I am equating child abuse to eating meat in a certain context, and it only goes so far. Yeah, from many people's perspective, hitting a child might in fact be less severe than the impact to our planet or the conditions in which a cow is raised. Hitting one child compared to the contribution of raising, let's say, one cow and that cow's lifetime. I don't know exactly what the equivalence would be. But yeah, it could work out to being more severe. There we go. I've made my point. I think that we need to stop giving vegetarians such a hard time and start giving vegetarianism some serious thought.
But no, I don't check my messages. I don't get an alert about it. I don't find out about it.
Subscribe for more.